Okay. Okay. Your name?
Isaiah Smith. Antonio father.
So from your perspective, what happened here?
Okay, on August the 7th, it was like maybe 5 or 6 guys along with myself. We were just sitting out on Carolyn Stoop. You know, we just sitting there just talking, having a friendly conversation. And all of a sudden we seen that the task force was pulling up. So my son Antonio was standing up by the door. And that's the Jump Street, that's what we call him, Jump Street, approached the back of my truck. My son Antonio just opened the door and just went in the house. All the guys still sitting around. The guy that was driving, Officer Morris, he was the driver of the vehicle that jumped out of his vehicle, came between the guys and kicked the door in. And when he kicked the door and he told my son, he roughed him up, he threw him in the corner, talking about where the motherfucking drugs at. You know I seen the drugs, I seen the transaction. So they took him in the house and they locked the door, wouldn't let nobody in, wouldn't let nobody out. So the officer that was on the outside, he asked everybody to stand up and he asked them to sit back down. So he went by individual, searching everybody out there. Didn't find no drugs. You know what I'm saying? So they let everybody win that he searched, he let everybody win. Still didn't find no drugs. By that time, I don't know what was going on in the house, but they wouldn't let me in. They locked the doors and wouldn't let nobody in or out.
So another group went into the house.
Yeah,
while they were searching.
The same bunch of guys. Yeah, it was 2 trucks. It was 2 trucks. Some jumped out of one truck, and those guys was in the house. It was only one officer that was outside, and the rest of them was in the house tearing up the house trying to find drugs.
So and then. So fast forward a little bit later about the phone conversation you received from the chief.
Okay, yeah, I talked to the chief. My wife had talked to him, and she couldn't get no understanding out of him. So I called the chief back. I said, Chief Murphy, I said, understand me. I said, I'm a black man, unemployment. Get unemployment. I don't work. My wife wants some money income. I say, put yourself in my position. I don't have no money to hire a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? He said, okay, well, Mr. Smith, I'm going to call you back. I'm going to talk to somebody, I'm going to call you back. So he called me back the next day, and he said, Mr. Smith, okay, if I talk to the prosecutor and the judge, if your son Antonio's agrees to come down here and sign this paper saying that, okay, we'll drop all charges from him, and you all will not be able to sue the city. You know what I'm saying? That's what Chief Murphy told me personally, out of his mouth.
Did they offer you any sort of settlement?
No settlement. He was just telling me if my son come down and sign the paper, he'll be clear of the charges, and he just won't be able to sue the city.
What did you think about that?
I was thinking he was wrong for telling me that, because, you know, the position that I'm in, that I cannot hire an attorney, you know what I'm saying? And knowing that it was wrong for what they done, you know, he telling me in other words that it was wrong for what they done, but now we're just going to let you sign these papers for your son can get off, and you know what I'm saying? He won't go to jail and it won't be on his record, you know.
Did, in your conversations, did he seem, I think you touched on this, did he seem to indicate that the officer might be at fault?
Oh, yes, sir, he did, because he was telling us, and when my wife and Miss Mays was down there talking to him, saying that, okay, the officer only supposed to be searched armly of when they came in the house. They only supposed to be searched armly. The officers tore up the whole house. They searched the whole house. You know what I'm saying? And they still didn't find no drugs. And so Chief Murphy was telling us, like, okay, was this a 50-50 thing? Okay, it could go up and it could go down. You know what I'm saying?
Anything else you'd like to say you think people should know?
I'm just saying, it's just bad the way the task force target black males with dreads or gold in their mouth and they dress nice, saying that everybody sell drugs. That's not what we do. You know what I'm saying? I brought my son up on work, and that's what he do. He get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go to work every day. You know.
So you would like to see changes?
Exactly. Most definitely changes. Most definitely. I would like to see Morris and the other officers very much penalized on what they done. You know, I don't care what measures that they have to take. They need to be penalized for what they done. You know, because of the way the officers talk to people, just because you don't have on a badge, and you know what I'm saying, and the officers they don't have the right to talk to people the way they really humiliated us out there that day, really.